Shir lamalot esaynai al harim meyayin yavo Ezri. Ezri me'im Adonai osei shamayim va'aretz. Al yitein lamot raglecha al yanum shamrecha. Hinei lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Adonai shamrecha, Adonai tzilcha al yad yaminecha. Yamam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach balayla. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra, yishmor et nafshecha, Adonai yishmor tzedcha uva'echa, me'ata v'yad olam.
A song of ascents. I shall raise my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? My help is from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to falter. Your guardian will not slumber. Behold, the guardian of Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your guardian. The Lord is your shadow. He is by your right hand. By day the sun will not smite you, nor will the moon at night. The Lord will guard you from all evil. He will guard your soul. The Lord will guard your going out and your coming in, from now on and forevermore.
You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens for a message from the Prime Minister, the Honorable Kevin Rudd. Immediately following that, there will be a message and address by the Leader of the Federal Opposition, the Honorable Malcolm Turnbull.
Erev Tov. I'm sorry that I can't be with you in person at the Yeshiva Center this evening to mark this solemn occasion, but I am with you in spirit and in prayer. I join with you tonight to mourn all of the victims of the terrible attacks in Mumbai on the 26th of November. We mourn the Australians who were murdered, Brett Taylor and Doug Markell, and we mourn the followers of the Jewish faith at Mumbai's Chabad house who were murdered. We remember the selfless and tireless work of the coordinators of the Chabad house, Rabbi and Rebetzin Holzberg. They had devoted their lives to acts of goodness and kindness and to compassion for others. They were providing a home away from home for Jewish travellers, a place for hospitality, for rest, and for spiritual guidance. But they lost their lives in a senseless act of hatred. In the face of this terror, we must not bow to fear. We must respond by spreading our own message of tolerance and respect for people of other backgrounds and other beliefs. I know that in these dark times for the Jewish community, the Yeshiva Center and the Chabad movement is doing just that. I believe that in Yeshiva's Our Big Kitchen, which I visited in May, volunteers have rolled up their sleeves and are cooking food packages to be sent to the victims' families and those affected by the tragedy. I commend your response. I commend your resilience, and I commend your compassion for others. At this time of tragedy, it is more important than ever that as a community we show that the terrorist message of hatred and division will find no support here. We must show that in the face of terrorism, we pull together and stand by each other. That is the strongest response. Thank you for the opportunity to take part in your memorial this evening. And in a time of great sorrow, may your community be made stronger. I conclude with the familiar words that I have said so many times in the past. Am Israel Chai. The Jewish people live on. I thank you.
Thank you. Rabbi Feldman, Rabbonim, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Chavarim all. I come here tonight to the Yeshiva to express my solidarity with the Chabad movement and the Jewish community. I'm very pleased to be speaking here tonight with the Prime Minister. It's important for us all to recognise that the solidarity with the Jewish community is a bipartisan one. This is not a matter for party politics. We all stand with you in this time of trial. We also tonight mourn the deaths of two Australians, Brett Taylor and Doug Markell. Doug Markell, as the Prime Minister noted, was formerly a Deputy Mayor of Wallara, and his funeral service is on Thursday this week. Now, I'm the leader of the opposition, leader of a party that has had, a Liberal Party that has had an unparalleled record of support for Israel and for the Jewish community. And we restate and recommit ourselves to that support. We stand together, all of us, in the front line in the battle against terror. The front line is everywhere. Everywhere there are people determined to do us harm, people who are determined to attack the Jewish people, terrorists who are determined to extinguish the light of freedom. But we must stand together, shoulder to shoulder. Tonight's turnout here, this huge audience and the spillover in the other rooms, is evidence that terrorism will never shake the inspirational work of Chabad. Your passion for spreading the Rebbe's teachings, the Yiddishkeit and Havas Yisrael to the four corners of the world is unbreakable. It's indomitable. It's indefatigable. And that's the great spirit that terrorism and these thugs, these murderers, can never overcome. You know, just a few weeks ago, I visited the kitchen here, our big kitchen, David Slavin's baby, David and Leah's baby, here, one of their babies, here at the Yeshiva Centre, for an interfaith event. It was called Cook for Peace, and it involved cooking between Jewish and Muslim university students. They cooked a 3-course kosher and halal meal. It was extremely tasty, I can say that from first hand. But it exemplified the mission of Chabad, the mission of the Rebbe, which is to do goodness to all men and all women, regardless of their faith, of their background, to spread God's love throughout the world. In just a few days, at Chabad events in Martin Place, Double Bay and Bondi Beach, Jews will publicly celebrate Hanukkah and recall the heroic military victory of the Maccabees who fought for the right to be Jews. The spirit of the Maccabees is burning bright here tonight and is as indomitable as the lamps from the beginning of the story of Hanukkah, and it is burning bright in Chabad communities everywhere. Rabbi and Rebbetzin Holtzberg gave so much nachas to countless visitors to the Chabad house, Nariman House in Mumbai. The best way we can remember them, all of us can remember them, is to continue to stand up for freedom, to practice Yiddishkeit, but to be free men and women, to say no to the threats, to the terrorists, to those people that try, as I said, to extinguish the light of freedom. That light of freedom, just like the lights of Hanukkah, must burn despite all of the challenges they face. So I thank you very much for inviting me to speak tonight at this memorial service. I hope that the next time we get together, it will be on a happier occasion, and I'm sure that will be so. Until then, I wish you all sei gesund, chazak, ubaruch.
Thank you very much, Malcolm, for those inspiring words. We now call upon the United States Consul General Judith Fergan to convey a message from the President of the United States.